Oh, hello. Welcome to the McCave. I'm Jameson McCran, your host, and today we'll be looking at... Don't mind this. Today we'll be reviewing a comic book in the very first episode of Mysteries with the McCave. This is actually just a random comic book that I picked up called Captain CANUCK. I got it at the Clever Con at the Fillmore, and it was given, it wasn't given to us until after we purchased it, of course. I'm not funny. I'm just ad-libbing. This is, I got it from a vendor, Buzz Comics. They're good people, so we're gonna plug them there. And while we were there, we also took some photographs, and they were from, Kevin McGee. Is that what his name was? Might as well put him in there too. He was at CleverCon.
Yeah, Kevin McGee.
So we'll be looking at Captain CANUCK today, and I picked it up to be a goof, and honestly, it's not too bad of a goof, really. This is from Comely Comics Company, and the man who created the character is the editor-in-chief of the company, and he writes it and letters it, and then it looks like his partner, I'm assuming, co-wrote it and did all the artwork for it. So it's an independent company. I don't know. I'm gonna look into the background of this because I'm curious. I don't know anything about Captain CANUCK. I don't know anything about this independent company. But it seems very inspirational because, you know, they got distributed to America. You know, this was a big accomplishment for 1980. And, you know, it just serves as a little self-publishing inspiration for us, myself and Manny Ortiz, who is our faithful cameraman this evening.
Yeah, that's me.
We open up, the story is called Masquerade. Captain CANUCK, arriving in Winnipeg at 4 in the morning, usually finds a sleepy stillness blanketing the city, but not the morning after the masquerade party, eh? Captain, the taxi you ordered is here. Are you sure you wouldn't rather a CISO unit? No, in this case it's too conspicuous, eh? Now I'll need the address of the Jordan Institute. Here it is, sir, but you don't have to be there till 0800. Let's just say I'm being extra cautious. Thanks for the coat and hat, eh? As the captain rides through the city of his youth, familiar sights and the fresh smell of the rain-washed air spin a web of memories, but the spell is soon broken, eh? Sky's cleared up now, mister. I don't think you'll need the raincoat anymore. Thanks for the weather report, but I'll keep it on. Hey, you're Captain CANUCK. Wait till I tell my wife and kids. Captain CANUCK, right here in my cab. You can tell anyone you want, just don't do it till after 12. I'd prefer that word doesn't get around that I'm in town, eh? My lips are sealed, Captain. They'll have to torture me to make me talk. You just stay low and, hey, that crazy idiot is driving like a... Well, I shouldn't say a bad word. I added that. The early morning stillness is suddenly shattered by the sound of crashing metal that we don't see pictured here. So I'll add it in. Crash. Driver, are you alright, eh? I'm fine, Captain, but you can bet someone is going to pay for this, after I asked them nicely. We better make sure the other driver isn't hurt first. Yeah, because, you know, they totally weren't the ones who caused the accident. She sure looks okay. Hey, she's going to take off on me. Hey, lady, where the heck do you think you're going, eh? You'll end up in the slammer if you try leaving the scene of an accident. Please, I've got to get away. They're after me. They'll kill me. Ever so quietly, appears the sinister black high-powered hover car. I didn't notice that in my first pass-through. I didn't realize it was a hover car. They have hover cars in Canada?
Yeah, they're way more advanced than we are.
And, you know, politeness really does get you a lot farther in this world.
If you watch that Family Guy episode, you see Ireland before alcohol and all that.
Oh, yeah. So I can only imagine Canada without maple syrup.
Yeah.
And they already have hover cars.
Yeah.
And all the way back in 1980, too. Like, what do they have now?
I mean, now they don't even need cars, they just walk on air.
Makes sense.
The Canadians are really good at that type of stuff. Technology-wise, I mean.
Just as swiftly, Captain CANUCK takes defensive action just in time to avoid a spray of bullets. Blam, blam, blam.
Did you add that too?
No, that one I was actually in there.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I noticed on my first little flip through here that there weren't a whole lot of sound effects. Head for the doors. We're going inside, eh? You sure open those doors fast. Hey, you're Captain CANUCK. I totally didn't realize that you were wearing leotard until just now. That's right. Now tell me what's going on here, eh? Those men out there, they're killers. They'll stop at nothing to get the numbers from me, including trying to torture and cripple me. Numbers? Yes, the combination for Mr. Oki's Swiss bank account, eh? I'm Mr. Oki's personal secretary, and I'm the only other one besides him who knows the sequence. Poor Mr. Oki, he was such a kind, generous man. What's so special about that in Canada?
And that's pretty much average.
Last night, we were kidnapped while at a party by those heartless fiends, and they hit Mr. Oki too hard. Did he, ask to get hit? Then they tried to make me give them the numbers, because they don't know how to count. I managed to escape and get a car, but they were right behind me. Poor Mr. Oki, he's probably dead, but I'll never give them the account numbers. Never. You've got to help me, Captain, eh? Please don't let them hurt me. Easy now, eh? Nobody's going to hurt you. Captain, I hate to break up this sweet moment, but we better scram. Now, when I first saw this panel, I thought he was just spitting at his pipe, but then I realized he's spitting at a cigarette right there. And I realized that this is like a stick being hit through the window of the building they ran into. So there just wasn't very clear in the artwork. But it's been up until that point clear storytelling. This is the first instance of a problem. On that note, they scramble down the corridor. Quick, to the stairs. The gang moves in, closer and closer behind them. Those boys are very determined. We've got to get you two out of here. Upstairs, the captain forces open the first door he finds. And see, that tripped me up because I haven't really stopped to really nitpick too much because I've been doing this annoying Canadian voice for everybody. Which I should probably stop doing. Because I'm sure it'll get old. I'm sure it probably is old. There are several instances throughout the story of where I've noticed that the grammar isn't that great. There'll be a semicolon where it's not supposed to be, or there'll be a dash where it should have been a comma. There'll be kind of run-on type sentences, and because of this pre-established, grammatical inconsistencies and errors, I thought that this sentence was wrong when I first looked at it. It says, upstairs, the captain forces open the first door he finds. And because I was so used to the established grammatical errors, I thought that this should have had a comma, but then I realized that they meant that the first door he saw, he opened. So, I think really that this issue just comes from the fact that Richard Comely here is the editor-in-chief, the writer, and the letterer. Like, no one was checking his work. Like, he didn't have any proofreading going on. I think that's the only issue I can tell with as far as the writing is concerned.
Also, we must remember that this guy's was this his 10th issue, debatably?
Yeah, we don't know what the history of Richard Comely or his company is, so we're just going with the assumption this is his 10th comic ever. Like, he's never done comics before, this is his 10th one, so we're giving him that leeway for the experience level.
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth.
I know. They were tasty.
We got a synchronization going on here. This is why people think we're gay. Just to confirm that we're not. Just saying.
Yes. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. We're not gay. And we shouldn't need to say it to prove it. People just assume too much.
We're like Ren and Stimpy.
No, Ren and Stimpy were gay.
You heard it here first, folks.
Alright, I'm gonna stop doing the Canadian voice for everyone except for Captain CANUCK. I'll still try to give them the accent though, but I don't want to be obnoxious with it. Upstairs, the captain forces open the first door he finds. This is still less review. This feels like it's a book read. I'm still figuring out the format. It'll get consistent after the first few episodes. We'll figure it out.
Have patience with us. Or him.
Upstairs, the captain forces open the first door he finds. Try to find a phone. I'll find a way back out, eh? There's a back window. I'll check it out. Too late. They've got us boxed in. Did you hear that? They've got us trapped in here. I heard. So get on that phone and call the cops. The phone is dead. Now here is where we find our first little artistic problem. Looks like she's wearing a mask right there. Whereas she's not wearing a mask at all in any of the other panels. And I'd also like to point out that she's dressed up like a fairy inexplicably. But she's a secretary, and if you miss this little part where it says right here that they're at a party, you have to make the conclusion that it was a costume party to understand why she's dressed like this.
Also, I'd like to point out that she looks kind of very villainous in this one.
Yes.
Like she's like, see the shadow over the eyes thing. That's like something that's usually aesthetically like chosen for like a character who's like kind of hiding something, or is like
right. And judging from what we find out
something
later
like
on in the read, that may or may not have been done on purpose, but it was definitely kind of off-putting, and it doesn't help with trying to make her look like she's not.
She could be into something.
Right. There's a better way to do it than to just make her look straight evil. Because I don't get that impression even since I know for the most part what happens.
But again, this is like his 10th thing, so presumably.
Not my 10th thing, the guy's 10th thing.
Yeah.
Issue 10. They've also shut off all the power. That means no lights or elevator. These guys aren't... elevator. Not elevators. This building only has one elevator in the entire giant office building. These guys aren't small-time hoods. It was also our bad luck. It was also sorry, I'm trying to get that Canadian accent right. We're gonna get so many hate comments. It was also our bad luck we had to pick a building that doesn't have an alarm system. Convenient, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever they're after, they don't intend to leave without it. They want me, Captain, and the account number. After they get the money, they'll kill me. And yes, it does say gulp right there. There was actually that gulp.
That cracks me up.
It does. But the thing about, like... And we find out that she's kind of fibbing here. But the thing is, like, I think that they should have caught on that, like, if you get someone's account number, like, wouldn't there be a few more fail-safe measures to ensure that you didn't need just the account number? I mean, like, if you get the account number, that doesn't... I think you'd need the routing number to get the money, right?
I mean, presumably, but it's like, the thing is, like, what I've noticed is, like, these days, like, identity theft is, like, really easy or something like that, supposedly, because, like, you see that all you need is, like, your name and your, like, date of birth sometimes, and then you can get so much more information. I mean, I don't know if it works the same way, or if they just need your, like, account number. And
plus, this is from the 80s and in Canada.
Yeah, so it's probably even worse than that.
No, there's no criminals in Canada.
Oh, yeah, I forget. Yeah. And plus, this is
so weird that there's crime happening. Why do they need Captain CANUCK?
Right, and then it's not even,
That's the only flaw.
They should have more, like, fail-safes other than just getting the account number. Cause, oh, yeah, I forgot. Just proved my whole argument. We're in Canada. This is Canada in 1980s. They're basically like the Jetsons in this era.
Yeah. At this point, you'd think that they could scan their retina and do some fingerprints and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean...
Or scan their breath. Yeah. I don't know. It's dumb, but still.
Well, no, that wouldn't be good, because then everyone would smell like syrup, so it wouldn't, like...
This is before maple syrup.
Oh, yeah. They didn't invent maple syrup until 1990. I thought it was 1980. Thank you for correcting me. Quickly, we'd better move on up. Captain, here's the stairs. Hold it. Don't touch that door. Suddenly, they too can hear the creeping footsteps coming up the stairs, and then the stairway door being slowly opened. They stand motionless, not daring to breathe. while patiently the captain awaits for the right moment to strike. Pow. I added that in there. I mean, you know, they didn't put it in there, so that's just they don't care about it, so that's why my pows are unenthusiastic when I add them in.
Pow. Wham. Kaboosh.
However, the first gunman the captain sends back down seems to be totally unaffected by the fall, and he's soon taking aim with a powerful magnum. It'll blow your head clean off. And you gotta ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Or do you, punk? Captain Canuck doesn't get the reference because he's Canadian and he hasn't seen the movie. Because it's a popular American movie. And we're American scum. So he doesn't watch
Underlined American.
But no one moves faster than Captain Canuck, who takes him down and out. Are you two okay up there, eh? I'm okay, but the driver's been shot in the leg. It's not serious. The bullet went right through the fleshy part, conveniently. By the way, the name is Fred. I didn't add that in there. They wait until now to tell you that the guy who's been adventuring with them this whole time, his name is Fred.
Right, we came to the conclusion earlier that he either, like, did the images first, and then thought up the, writing, like, later or whatever.
Right.
Or just bad writing in general, right. Came up with the plot, did the images, then wrote. It's like, it's just like, oh yeah, we forgot to put his name in. What's his name? Fred.
Yeah. Either way, it just kind of comes off like that. And he even, like, acknowledges that he's like, I figure I might as well introduce my... sorry, I'm supposed to not be doing everyone Canadian. I figure I might as well introduce myself, since maybe we better part company now so that you two can have a fighting chance. So basically, they're like, they only tell you what his name is when they're gonna get rid of him out of the story.
This makes me think that he's only planning this as he's going along.
Yeah.
Because, like... that kind of backs up the fact that he said, oh yeah, by the way, my name is Fred, and then here's my excuse for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't just throw that in there. He's got a reason why he put that in there. But it's like, it still feels like that it was random.
You would think that, especially because he was so excited to meet Captain Canuck, you'd think it would be like, you know...
My name's Fred.
Yeah, like,
Fred
hey, you're Captain Canuck. Well, I told my wife and kids Captain Canuck right here in my cab. My name's Fred, by the way. Like, that would have worked.
Without the by the way part. I kind of feel like that's weird.
I don't know. He could have been like, you know, wait till I call my wife and kids Captain Canuck right here in my cab. Nice to meet you, sir. I'm Fred. You know, like, there's an easy...
Yeah. Either way, he should have said something earlier.
Like, not giving him a name in the beginning makes you think he's not going to be important. This man is in the rest of the story, because they don't even leave him behind. He's shot in the leg. They patch up his leg. They take him with them. So this man is important in the entire adventure, and you don't learn his name until it looks like he's about to, like, be left out of it. And the fairy Leona lady chimes in over here. I think he's right. After all, it's me they want. We can hide him somewhere. And I like to point out that she just looks straight evil in that panel.
Again.
New deal. If they find him, they'll kill him. So they don't hide him. After bandaging Fred's leg with his own handkerchief, they move up to the 3rd floor and break into a toy wholesaler showroom, because that's what superheroes do, where friendly toy faces seem to bid them welcome. But we all know that toys are evil and come to life when we're not paying attention. So it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Just like all the kids up these days.
Admiral Akbar opens up a public bathroom stall and he goes, "It's a crap."
It plops down in the water. It's a blap. I don't know. That was dumb. That was dumb too.
It was already dumb, so it couldn't get any worse, I don't think.
The discount what I just said. I didn't say anything.
I'm going to get you to the top floor and out of the way as quickly as possible. Then I'll take care of the rest of them. And take care is like super bolded. I don't know what. And then I'll take care.
You can see that from here.
Yeah, like I feel like he's like, that implies he's gonna like kill them or something. Like,
I'll take care of him.
You don't need to bold that.
Yeah, take care of him.
Suddenly, from the... Sorry, it's supposed to be narrator voice. I keep making everyone Canadian. It's not a funny joke. It's a one-note joke, but I keep doing it.
They are all Canadian.
Suddenly, from the floor below comes a beckoning voice. And here's another instance of a grammatical thing. suddenly should be followed by a comma. Like, it's just little things like that. I did very well in English class. That was one of my strong points.
No, it wasn't. He got F's, I was there.
This man is 2 years behind me as far as school goes.
Bitch. Anyway.
Which is crazy, because you look way older than me. So, beckoning voice. Leona, you are being very foolish. And we see it's this kind of Native American looking dude, so I'm gonna give him like a very stoic voice. Like I've noticed that Native American.
Show it again.
Americans,
Show it again.
There you go. They just have kind of boring inflection. Like they always just kind of are like this. So I'm gonna read this guy like this. It may be racist, but I don't think it is. Like that's just what I consistently noticed. Look, I'll tell you what. We find like a Captain Ireland, I will read that in like a very, like, I'll read that in the freaking Lucky Charms voice. Okay? Like, I don't care, I just do stereotypical voices because I find them funny. And it's easier to do. Yeah, you know what we want, Leona. Just give it to us and we'll walk away. No one will get hurt. It's better than dying and taking innocent people with you. Now hand it over, we're coming up. So here's where we start to think that, you know, maybe she actually is like a criminal, because like now this is like the third evil-looking picture we've seen of her, and she's like, this is not Canadian at all. This gives away that she's not Canadian because she says, "You're a bloody liar. Try coming up here and you'll be the one to die." Like, and then Captain Canuck's like, "Damn, girl, that's not Canadian at all, eh?
That's the Canadian way.
Our lives are on the line because of you, Leona, and you've been lying to us. Now what is it thereafter? Now, what is it thereafter?" Very bolded right there.
Watcha.
I had to lie, Captain, but I must tell you now. And you see, my instinct was to go here, because that's how you read comics. You go do. You know, like it's a left to right thing. Like you go do. We're supposed to go here to here, and then here and then here. So that was kind of weird. Also, this isn't a very well done drawing, honestly, compared to the rest of what's in here. I was ordered by my superiors not to reveal my identity or to turn over the microfilm except to my contact. Contact? Yes, I work for the Swedish embassy. So now we learned she's not Canadian, she's Swedish. I don't know what Swedish people sound like. It's kind of like a hurdy-durdy, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna do this. I was to turn over the top priority microfilm to one of our agents in the field. It was to be done during a masquerade party last night, but the agent, Sob, didn't show. I knew I was in trouble when I saw Gunner there. He must have gotten to my contact since he knew I had the film. I ran for my life because I knew how ruthless that man is. He'll stop at nothing. Sob. One thing is for sure. Those guys, whoever they are, will be coming up the stairs in a few minutes. You see, that's another thing. Like, I feel like they kind of put themselves into awkward sentences. Like, no one speaks like that. I think they could avoid a lot of these issues if they didn't try to make their sentences complicated. Like, this sentence is correct. Like, it's a correct sentence, but it doesn't sound right. And I think that's where their grammar problems are coming from. They're making it sound more intelligent than it needs to. Like, he could have just been like, he's like, well, whoever they are, they're coming up the stairs. You know, you don't need to throw in, you know, one thing is for sure, those guys, whoever they are, will be kind of like, you just say, well, whoever they are, they're coming up the stairs. Like, you're overcomplicating it. That's where you get yourself into these problems.
Indeed.
I don't blame you for not believing me before, but please don't let them get near the film. Where is the film, though? Like, so we went from... Her cover story was, they're after me because they want an important account number. And now the story is, they're after me because they want an important microfilm. And I'm also a Swedish spy. Kind of, like Swedish embassy thing.
She's sweet on mine.
Like, regardless, they're still after her. So, I feel like she could have just been straight with him. Like, I have this microfilm, I'm Swedish embassy. Help me out, Captain Canuck, because it doesn't change the situation at all. Like, guess maybe the stakes are a little bit higher now. Like, as far as, like, this might cause an international problem, but either way, he was still helping her out. And that's also why I don't understand this part where he's like, hey, we're in a lot of trouble now because of you. It's like,
it's your fault.
That wasn't a problem until just now.
Hey, by the way, fuck you. Just saying.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going out of my way to look for stuff to nitpick. I don't know.
I kind of get what you're saying. I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's 1980s. I mean, obviously this review's not going to fucking help him because he's probably like already got some success or
I'm
failed or
definitely
whatever.
curious about Captain. Like, I'm gonna do some research and look into this because I'm intrigued. I bought this. I was like, Captain CANUCK, what the heck? And then it's actually like, it's a good comic. You know, it's interesting. It's like a it's like an independent little company that these two guys look like they threw together. It's all right. We're going back to normal.
Fuck you.
Okay, so 2 minutes later,
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. I sneezed. 2 minutes later, 3 killers enter the showroom, dressed like morons. This guy's Thor, this guy's a clown, this guy's an astronaut. They don't tell you why. And this guy's a Native American cowboy guy. Like, the mask. They're still dressed like that from the masquerade party last night?
Yeah, that party was crazy, man.
I mean, it makes sense that she is, because she had to escape for her life. I don't see how these international spy guys would still be dressed like that. They're supposed to be inconspicuous.
No, man, that party was crazy. I mean, Jimmy was in a freaking water pool, and then there's like, people were knocked out everywhere.
I guess they just had too much syrup.
One woman was... It's like I had this woman passed out on my lap, I didn't know what to do. So I raped her. Anyway.
It's terrible. I've had a girl fall asleep on me randomly one time.
And then you raped her. Anyway.
No.
Back to
That's a story for another time.
We're not going to tell you.
Heck, I'll tell it. It's a funny story. I just gotta leave the name out of it.
I know her name. Oh,
I know.
I know.
It's a story. The reason why I thought of it is because I meant to tell you about it. Because we were talking about something. Anyway, we should probably cut that out too. This is just a bunch of rambling.
No, keep
nonsense.
it in. They need to know about personal lives. I'm black, by the way, anyway. That's supposed to be secret.
Ernie, check. Okay, so this guy's saying Ernie, so he must be Bert. Okay, so this guy's Bert.
Ernie, Damon, check the 2 offices at the back, but be careful. They could still be on this floor.
At least one of us is, suckers. Wham. Mike lands on them. I added that. Oh, shoot.
He dropped it. Pick it up.
In a split second, he pauses over his victim. He's frighteningly visible. And by that they mean he is exposed at how ridiculous his costume looks. Because he's not, like, I guess it's scary. He's pretty muscular looking. And I guess you could consider him dressed like a lunatic, and that's kind of... I wouldn't say that... Okay, never mind.
Pretty much say anyone in this book is a lunatic.
So, because this guy has the big nose and he's kind of chubby, he's going to be Ernie. The guy who Bert was talking to before.
I don't know, Bert.
Hey, he's dressed like Captain CANUCK. The costume doesn't mean anything. Burn him! Before they're able to take aim, he's a blur of crimson and white. Look out!
Wasn't this the clunky action scene?
Yes, this is a clunky action scene. He's tossing those things around like they were made of plastic, so I guess he has super strength. I don't know what Captain CANUCK's abilities are. They don't tell you. It's just shown right here that he must have super strength because he's throwing these, like, barbells. But I don't know why... dumbbells. I don't know which one's which. I don't know. That makes me a dumbbell, I guess.
He's so funny, isn't he?
I don't know why those would be in a children's toy store either. Maybe they are made of plastic. Maybe it's a joke. I don't know. As far as I knew, this was just a guy dressed up in tights like Batman, relying on his wits and whatnot, but they're saying that he has super strength, maybe, but now they're also saying that these weights are in a toy store and they're supposed to be real. So
I mean, kids lift these days, man.
That's true.
They're very short, but they lift.
So, you know, he's tossing around these things like they were made of plastic. Maybe they are. Taking advantage of his little distraction... I don't know why they put that in quotes. Like, it literally was a little distraction. I don't know why they're like, now that his little distraction is over with. Like, yeah, it was a distraction. The captain, in one powerful leap, is upon them. Oof. blam, pow. He quickly finishes with one. Okay, so I'm gonna pause. So far, the artwork has been pretty good aside from like the couple instances of making the chick look evil and that shot of the eyes right there. This page is actually not compositionally good. We get these really like tight skinny shots on all the action here. He's like supposed to be throwing them, but it looks like he's running and these are floating in the air. That is one of them flying past the guy as he dodges it. Like this little thing right up there. He's supposed to be shooting the gun at him. Like pulling out his gun and dodging this thing. You can't really tell. This is just like this really tight look on his face for no reason. This is where he's jumping, and that's where he lands on them. And it's just this small little part of his already small panel, but we have all this blank space. For no reason, there's not even a sound effect there. And it's just like all this action right here. That should have been a big part. Like that would have been like a cool... Like if you saw that in the hands of a different artist, that would have been a decent chunk of the page where he's like landing on those guys. And this is just really tight in on the action where like, I don't really have too much of a problem with this panel, but it's very tight in on the action, it's very cramped. And this is him punching someone in the face. Like
Fire.
Yeah, he blew him up, I guess.
So powerful.
So this is a problem page for me. Like the rest of it has been good so far, but this is definitely like that should have been reworked a little bit. So, he quickly finishes with one, but the other... You really are Captain Canuck, but even you can't stand up to a magnum. Bram, 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 bram! Finally, some fucking sound effects. Excuse me.
That wasn't a gun, by the way.
Yes.
It was a gun, actually.
Ah, boys, it sounds like the fellas just found them. We'll wait right here for them to come back down with our merchandise. 10 minutes pass. They waited 10 minutes. They heard gunfire, they're like, oh, he might be dead. Let's wait a little bit for him to come back down. They wait 10 minutes.
Good.
I feel like that was kind of silly. Maybe it's just me.
It is retarded. I mean, I wouldn't put 10 minutes
You hear
later.
gunfire, like, I'm assuming everything went well. You should be down in like a minute. And then you let 10 minutes go by? You would think that you hear gunfire and like, let's go up there.
I said, maybe we should check it out. Nah, just wait like 10 minutes, see if anything happens.
I mean, I get that they're criminals, but you know, still, they're outnumbering Captain Canuck right now.
But we forget that he has got super anything.
And super blow up your face power. So it doesn't look good. I don't think the boys were, let's say, victorious. What? Where does the sudden need to be euphemistic come from?
Let's say victorious.
You could just say, I don't think they were victorious. Like, I have to be like, I don't think they were, let's say, victorious. Like, he has a dictionary and he's just kind of flipping through it out of the panel.
He's a smart guy.
From here on, we stay together. No more games, no more splitting up to look for clues, with me taking Daphne and Velma up to the master bedroom while Shaggy and Scooby can go hang out downstairs. You know, from here on out, stay together, no more games. Now we get down to some serious killing.
I like his face right there, Tyler.
Yeah, that is a good facial expression. Meanwhile, 3 stories above on the top floor. Now, I don't know who's talking, so I don't know what voice it do. I'm going to default to Canadian. But this is an establishing shot. We should know who's in it. And when we turn the page, it's still not quite clear because now we get another caption, which I'm assuming is to mean that there's another transition in the scene, which means that this might be a completely different spot, which means... So, I'm not sure who was talking in that panel. I'm going to assume that it must be these criminals, because we're seeing them, like, kind of coming in here. I'm not going to just assume it's the Canadians and do the Canadian voice, that's just being silly. But, it's just something that should have been a little bit clear. Especially since this is meanwhile, like, that implies that it's the different people. But when we get this shot, it looks like those are the criminals sneaking around. So I don't know. And then Captain Canuck over here gets... Sounds like I'm making fun of him, that's his actual name. Captain Canuck over here gets the costume change, but then he switches back to his old one. He didn't like the purple. Anyway. Must be a clothing factory, sure looks big. Yeah, now come on, let's find the roof. Like the captain told us to. Okay, there we go. I jumped a little bit to conclusions here. It does, in fact, the first pass on the dialogue, I kind of glazed over that. So those are the captains. That's Leona and Fred, the cab driver, who got shot in the leg. Okay. So that was... I'll take blame on that one. That was my bad for not reading the dialogue closely enough the first time around. Now, only 2 stories below them, the 3 gunmen carefully begin searching. 5 down, 3 more to go. Except these last 3 won't be such pushovers, eh? Boss, Ernie here is unconscious. Captain CANUCK is with them. It was Captain CANUCK. He got rubber ducky. By now, they've found the last 3 I tangled with. Then, for sure, they'll know it's you they're up against. And what's cool about this, I noticed, is it could be read normally, but it could also be read straight down, which is kind of cool.
That's weird. I know that I always fight with that with other comics.
Yeah.
Like looking at that, I'm like, what the hell? What does it go up and down, or does it go?
Because it's very like, you know, we're showing what the criminals are doing, we're showing what the heroes are doing. Criminals, heroes, criminals, heroes. So you could go that way and then go this way, and you'd still get the same thing because we're showing what one is doing and we're showing what the other is doing.
It's a good strategy.
It's interesting. I don't know whether or not they intended that. We're getting some very Batman-like action here. You know, he's kind of like attacking them and they can't see him. He's using the shadows to his advantage. And then he finds the blind and opens it, and he shoots point blank at him. Doesn't kill Captain CANUCK. Instead, a stray bullet sends a huge bolt of cloth crashing down towards him, and it lands on him and crushes him to death.
That's not very Batman-like.
Oh well, it was a straight bullet. And now here's where we see that Captain CANUCK is a hero, though, because well, we get this thing where the bad guy is like basically don't trust the Leona chick, and he says, you know, he's like basically like watch your back. He says, I know, but don't try to talk. Just and then he's like, oh, dang, he's dead. And then the caption says that Captain CANUCK feels the weight of the tragedy as he steps onto the roof. So like, even though he was supposedly a criminal, he was trying to shoot him, and they had a fight or whatever, he still didn't want to see that man die. So I think that was a nice little way to definitely like show that Captain CANUCK, even though it's a ridiculous name and costume and everything, Captain CANUCK is still like truly a hero.
He's human.
Yes.
He's not just a hero. He's someone who's relatable,
right,
to an extent.
Actually, it does look like he got hit by one bullet because we actually see there's a bullet wound here. So he's not invulnerable. He's just very strong.
He may even just be like, again, like Batman.
Yeah. And then we find out that it is not an account number. It is not a microphone. It is a secret weapon. It is the Jordan prototype, which is the most powerful handgun ever created, and that's what she has on her, and that's what she's hiding. Then she whips it out on Captain CANUCK over here, and Fred, the cabbie with the shot leg, takes the little blanket that they were using to keep him warm. I don't know why getting shot in the leg makes you cold. Plus, they're in Canada. You would think that
it'd be cold because of Canada.
You'd think they'd be you'd think they'd be used to it though, being Canadian. Anyway, he takes the blanket, wraps around her, he trips her, and then he saves her from falling off the roof by breaking her arm, I guess, because that doesn't look right. And she's basically all like, oh, I'm ashamed of myself. I let myself be a criminal. He's like, basically like, in a very Canadian way, he tells her to shut the heck up. Just stick it up her ass for apology, you know. And that's the end. And we get a little subscription notice. We get letters column. We see the only reason I'm pointing this out is because I thought this was interesting. They apparently kept a little stock because you can send in to get the back issues that you miss. I think that's decently I'm not sure if that's regular practice or not. It's definitely not anymore. If you order them, if you throw in an extra $1, they would send them to you autographed. So I thought that was neat. And then we get a little bonus. We get more like merchandising, blah blah blah. We get another bonus story in here. This was nothing special. It was like your typical fantasy. They all have ridiculous names like Sandinar, Vertibaz, you know, they all fit the stereotypes. There's this really funny thing where, like, if we hurry, we can get some plums before the birds eat them all. Alright, it'll sure be eating gummy nuts again.
What?
You tell me. And
They're
then
teabagging each other?
Then the enemies here are pygmies, and they're pigs. They're literally pigs. And
when I was a young warthog. That was bad.
But basically, like, we get like 50 pig puns on this one page, and I'm like, I love puns. Like, hey, what? Come on.
This guy's some dude pork belly, I don't know.
Yeah. King Pigolini. They're pygmies. You're gonna help us in a pig's eye, I will. It's like, come on, man. It's not that funny. And then, confrontation. Turns out this knight is blind, and you don't realize it until they, like, say it over here. Like, let's, come on, you cowards. He's only one man and he's blind. Let's make quick work of this sightless knight. So they make a big deal about pointing out that he's blind, but then before they're like, they don't say anything about it until not here, and then it says, "You're doing great, Sir Brant. It's as if you don't need eyes." And I took that as, like, you could fight them with your eyes closed. But no, apparently he literally... So, and then it ends on a little cliffhanger, but I'm not at all interested. So, the little bonus story was not very good. It was written by the same guy, and it was drawn, colored, and lettered by the guy who just did colors on Captain Canuck. So I think it shows, like, the artwork is pretty good. We get this, like, nice little awkward face right here, and to be continued. I'm not gonna be following up on that, but I like Captain Canuck. And look, Manny, look. We can get a new Captain Canuck T-shirt for just $6.
Some shit.
I can get the $5 youth one, but you're bigger than me, so you might need to spend the extra $1. Anyway, oh shoot, we didn't have the music playing.
Yes, we did. They just didn't hear it.
I feel like we should go through and edit it, including this.
No, yeah, definitely take out this. Like, I'm gonna give you the finger. Take that out.